Log entry. This week's pages hold a Valley campaign, a massacre in occupied France, an assault on Korean forts, a committee formed in Philadelphia, a challenge spoken at the Berlin Wall, a first summit in Pyongyang, and a fatal derailment in Edmonton. The almanac keeps them together, because 1 week can carry victory, reprisal, diplomacy, and grief at once. In 1862, Stonewall Jackson moved through the Shenandoah Valley with speed and pressure. And then, at Port Republic the next day, Confederate success blocked Union forces from reinforcing elsewhere. The commanders, the marching columns, and the valley roads formed part of a larger Civil War calculation. By preventing Union reinforcement, Jackson's campaign helped preserve Confederate initiative at a critical moment. In 1944, Tulle entered the record under occupation and terror. German troops hanged 99 civilians from lampposts and balconies in reprisal for attacks by maquisards. The town itself became the scene. Tulle, the Maquis du Limousin, and the occupation war showed how resistance and retaliation could fall hardest on civilians. The massacre remains one of the starkest records of collective punishment in wartime France. In 1871, the United States expedition to Korea reached Ganghwa Island by force. Captain McLean Tilton led 109 U.S. Marines in a naval attack on Han River forts there. Marines, ships, and fortified positions met on Korean ground during the action remembered as Sinmiyangyo. The assault marked a violent encounter between the United States and Korea, and it entered the record as a consequential episode in early contact shaped by arms. In 1776, Congress turned from argument toward authorship. The Continental Congress appointed Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston to the Committee of Five. These were prominent political figures gathered for a specific task. They were to draft a Declaration of Independence. The appointment mattered because movements become states through language as well as war. This committee was the step that set the argument into a formal text. In 1987, the Cold War found a stage at the Brandenburg Gate. President Ronald Reagan stood before the wall dividing Berlin and issued a public challenge to Mikhail Gorbachev to tear it down. The setting did much of the speaking. The gate, the wall, and the office of the U.S. presidency concentrated decades of division into one address. The words endured because they fixed a geopolitical demand in a memorable public forum during the late Cold War. The Korean Peninsula reached a first. South Korean President Kim Dae-jung met North Korean leader Kim Jong-il in Pyongyang for the opening of the first Inter-Korea Summit. Two leaders, one northern capital, and a meeting long absent from the modern record. The summit mattered because first meetings alter what is thinkable. Even before outcomes are judged, the act of sitting together changes the diplomatic page. A page from Edmonton records mechanical failure and sudden loss. The Mindbender derailed at the indoor amusement park then called Fantasyland, now known as Galaxyland, at West Edmonton Mall. 3 riders were killed, and 1 was severely injured. The place was built for leisure. Its name entered the record through disaster instead. Same page, same time next week. Which discovery here surprised you most?